2016, he was eulogizing his own investment. How can your own investment be good and another person's investment is bad? That's political witch hunt. That is double standards. That's lacking in character. That is lacking in wisdom. He's a man in search of character, in lack of character, and in lack of wisdom. By professor, or his name or her name is Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala.
Let's wrap up now,
Yes.
and in just about 15 or 10 seconds.
Yeah.
If you look at how your candidate, I'm very sure that you're already sitting and analyzing how he's going to win. If you're analyzing how Peter Obi is going to win this election, by what margin and where do you think he will put the surprise?
Oh, well, like I said, he's becoming a phenomenon. He's becoming the Nigerian candidate. When I sat here and told you we have all the structures, people were saying that I was just jiving. Today is no longer a jive. The whole Muslims are with them. Yes, because the whole Muslims cannot understand why a Tinubu can no longer even cognitively align his thoughts to make coherent sense. Would you want such a man who is blah, blah, Buhari, church rat, eating unpoisoned Holy Communion? God bless PDAPC, a non-existent party. Would you want such a man who has become a food for comedians and creating comic relief to stand shoulder by shoulder to other presidents in the world? No, it is not acceptable.
Your candidate has been going to churches.
Yes.
And those who are criticized there and said, look, this is what we're talking about. Those who are using the churchy and the mosque and the ethnic tools and those kind of tools to impress the people. Should we use those kind of tools anyways in our politics?
My candidate is not using any tool. He's a Christian. He goes to churches. Dati Baba Ahmed is a Muslim. He goes to mosques. We are everywhere. Who will go to the church in APC? That is the whole idea of participation, involvement, giving people a sense of belonging.
Should you be using the church platforms to preach for your party or your candidacy?
No.
That's the question.
You go to your church. And that when he goes to church,
I'm asking
he goes to worship God.
I mean, because
yes.
Equity, I mean, you have explained that tonight, that you don't think that ethnicity and religion should be brought into our politics. But the question is that your candidate is seen going to churches also. Should we be using these religious platforms at all for any form of politicking?
Well, you're missing the point. Democracy is a representative government. Christians should be represented. Muslims should be represented in accordance with our constitution, that you don't leave anybody behind. Peter Obi goes to church to worship God. Does not go to church to campaign for politics. Just like Dati Ahmed goes to mosque to worship God. And that is the beauty of participation. So everybody should be actively integrated according to the constitution of Nigeria. So in politics, it's about representation. Then going to church is about worshiping God. In APC, nobody will go to church. In the presidency, to worship God, unfortunately. And it's unacceptable to Nigeria. The Nigerian constitution, the Nigerian people. And the Northern Christians are rightly rejecting that ticket. And not just the Northern Christians, even the Northern Muslims. Because in Islam, the worship of God, there are 4 reasons for the writing of the Quran, but I'll just take one, which is the promulgation of the worship of God and essentials of justice. In Islam, it is not allowed that you should denigrate or destroy the integrity of any religion or any party. In any multinational, multi-religious society, Islam welcomes justice. No true Muslim will support APC Muslim ticket. And you can quote me. Let me tell you, the greatest undoing of the APC candidate is in his unguided and unsalutary method of trying to play God. Remember, we talk about the Lord of Bodleian, and he has an uncanny relationship with the king of Babylon, the city of corruption. Recall that Nebuchadnezzar said that he built the hanging gardens of Babylon, not God. And God warned him, be humble and give respect to me, and he refused. And God struck him and he became a human monkey. This is a presidential candidate who is arrogating to himself that he is God. He said, I single-handedly made Buhari president. That's the blasphemy in Quran and in Christianity. That was the first time he fell out with Babachiri Lawal. Babachiri Lawal said, don't play God. You are arrogant. And that was what fell out between him and Rauf Aregbe Shola Ubeni, who said, you are playing God. And it is not supposed to be so. Remember what Rauf said when the Osun election was concluded. He was abroad. And he said, he quoted the Bible. All powers are ordained by God. And he giveth it to whoever he wishes, including the business of men. But look at Bola Tinubu claiming that he is God. Whoever votes for Bola Tinubu is not a true Christian or a true Muslim, because he has blasphemed the Quran and blasphemed the Bible. In Quran, they said, all powers belong to Allah, and Allah giveth it to whomsoever he wishes. If President Buhari supports Bola Tinubu, he is not a true Muslim. Because Bola Tinubu has said he single-handedly made Buhari president, which is a blasphemy in Islam. That is what is killing them. They don't have respect for people. Babachiri Lawal told you that Tinubu is already feeling that he is the president because he is playing God. In the whole Yoruba land, he said it is his turn when it comes to Yoruba land. Who told him that? Ayo Adebanjo, the revered leader of Afenifere, was in Ibadan, the capital of the Southwest, to tell the Southwest that Peter Obi is the next president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So wherever you go to, in any pool you want to describe, Peter Obi is the chosen person because he's a man of character,
my
capacity,
people,
and
this one that Kenneth Okonkwo said, and it shook the whole political space again. Honestly, if you've not seen or heard what Kenneth Okonkwo just said about Tinubu, Soludo, and Peter Obi, then you are missing a very important gist. Because this one no be ordinary political talk, this one no bold statement that left many Nigerians talking, wondering, and reacting non-stop. So, let's go straight to it. Kenneth Okonkwo, the Nollywood actor turned politician, who has been a very strong voice for the Labour Party and Peter Obi, has once again come out blazing. In a recent talk that has gone viral across social media, Kenneth didn't hold back at all. He completely broke down the current state of Nigeria's politics, directly calling out the leadership style of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and also addressing Governor Charles Soludo of Anambra State, all in defense of Peter Obi. And you know Kenneth, he doesn't sugarcoat his words. The man speaks with passion and confidence. He said it clearly that Nigeria is currently facing tough times not because of lack of potential, but because of leadership choices that are not putting the people first. And as usual, he used Tinubu's government as an example. Now listen carefully, Kenneth Okonkwo said that Nigerians are still struggling to breathe under the weight of bad policies and economic hardship, and that even though the government keeps talking about reforms and recovery, what ordinary citizens are feeling in their pockets is pain, not progress. At this point, please, if you're watching this video, kindly hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss any of our daily gists. Because stories like this need to reach more people. Now, back to the matter, Kenneth didn't just stop at Tinubu. He went on to address Soludo, reminding him that politics should be about the people and not personal pride. You know how Soludo had earlier criticized Peter Obi during the last election season, saying his political movement wouldn't go far. Kenneth fired back at that, saying that Peter Obi's movement is not just about one man, but about an idea of a better Nigeria built on transparency, honesty, and good governance. And truly, many Nigerians agreed with him. Because ever since that election, Peter Obi's name keeps coming up anytime people discuss credible leadership or how to fix the country. Kenneth Okonkwo made it clear that Obi's influence is still very strong, that even those who tried to discredit him during the election are now saying that the people have not forgotten him. He even said something that caught attention. He mentioned that you can't silence a man who speaks truth to power, because truth always finds a way to rise above noise. That line alone got people clapping. Please, if you're enjoying this gist, don't forget to like this video right now and subscribe to stay updated with all the latest political gist from across Nigeria. Now, what made Kenneth's talk so powerful is that he backed it with examples. He said Nigerians deserve leaders who understand the struggles of ordinary citizens, the market women, the students, the workers, the farmers, not leaders who only talk about numbers while people are hungry. He compared Obi's approach during the campaign, simple, humble, data-based, and people-focused, to what he described as elite politics that ignores reality. He went further to defend Peter Obi, saying that despite all the attacks and criticisms, Obi has remained calm, focused, and still very much respected internationally. Kenneth said something like, "You may not like him, but you can't deny that Peter Obi has set a new political standard." And honestly, that statement has been trending. Because many Nigerians believe Obi changed the political conversation in the country, from just slogans to substance. Now, about Tinubu. Kenneth Okonkwo made a very bold point. He said leadership should not be about holding power, but about using it to improve lives. And if people are crying, suffering, and begging for food in a system that claims to be working, then that leadership needs to recheck its direction. He even mentioned that those around the president should tell him the truth, that Nigerians are not okay, that there's too much pressure everywhere, and that this is the time to lead with compassion and wisdom, not pride. Kenneth's words were deep. He said Nigeria has enough potential to be great, but only if truth and justice are allowed to guide leadership decisions. And then he added, Peter Obi stands for those values. Now, what made people really react was when he mentioned Soludo again. Kenneth said he respects Soludo as a professor and an economist, but that politics should be done with conscience. He asked why some leaders in the Southeast are more concerned about political alignment than the welfare of their own people. He reminded Soludo that Peter Obi was once the governor of Anambra and left the state financially stable. That point right there, it hit hard. Because many people online began comparing Soludo's government with Obi's record. And that discussion went viral. Please, my people, before we go deeper, quickly hit the like button and make sure you subscribe to this channel so you won't miss any of our hot gists like this. Now, the most interesting part of Kenneth's statement was how he ended it. He said, "We are not fighting anybody. We are only fighting for a better Nigeria." That line made even some of Tinubu's supporters pause and think. Because truly, the desire for a better Nigeria is something that goes beyond political party or tribe. Kenneth Okonkwo reminded Nigerians that no leader lasts forever, but the decisions they make will always speak for them. And he encouraged young Nigerians not to lose hope, but to keep demanding accountability. Now, while some people clapped for Kenneth, others criticized him. They said he talks too much or that he's still living in election season. But to be fair, many Nigerians said his courage to speak up is what's missing among many politicians. Because very few are bold enough to criticize the system publicly without fear. And you know what? This shows how divided yet passionate Nigerians have become about the state of the nation. People are tired of hardship, they are frustrated by insecurity, and they just want things to work. And Kenneth Okonkwo used his voice to say exactly what many are feeling. So, if you ask me, this gist is not just about Kenneth attacking Tinubu or Soludo. It's about a cry for better leadership, one that listens, cares, and delivers. Now, imagine this scenario: if Peter Obi, Soludo, Tinubu, and even Kenneth Okonkwo were to sit down at one round table today, the conversation would be explosive. Because each of them represents a different ideology of what Nigeria should look like. But one thing is sure, the people are watching all of them closely. So, viewers, what do you think? Was Kenneth Okonkwo right to defend Peter Obi that strongly? Was he too harsh on Tinubu and Soludo? Drop your thoughts in the comment section below, we want to hear from you. And please don't forget again, like this video, subscribe, and turn on your notification bell so that anytime we drop a new gist, you'll be the first to know.